So today we're going to talk about sergers, and we're going to do it in a series of videos so that you can hop along and skip things if you want to skip them. But I thought that the very first video should be a definition of sergers, because the first thing that people ask me when I say I'm going to teach a class about sergers is they say, what's a serger? So sergers and overlockers and cover stitch machines are all domestic sewing machines that are available to purchase, readily available all over the place. We are a dealer for several types of cover lock sergers and overlockers. And the serger and overlocker terms are essentially the same machine. So when you're looking at machines online, you might see them being called sergers, or you might be see them being called overlockers. They are multi-thread machines. And so that's the first thing I'm going to say about sergers and overlockers. Cover lockers are similar to sergers and overlockers. Sometimes they're combination machines, so that they've got all the different types of threads going through a series of gears. And I can show you one of those in a later video, so I'll be getting back to those. But the main thing to think about when you're thinking about a serger, a cover locker, an overlocker is it is a sewing machine. And it's a domestic machine. Now, if you were to walk into a professional seamstress's office or into a custom tailor, you would see a number of machines. And one of the Instagram pages that I really like to follow is a gentleman out of Toronto who is Via Pana Custom Denim, and he has all sorts of classic industrial level sergers, overlockers, sewing machines, hemmers, blind hemmers, and they're amazing to watch. And so what they are machines that are dedicated to a single purpose. Maybe they have a couple applications, but they do one thing, and they do it very, very well. So the domestic version of a serger, cover locker, or overlocker is that it's one machine that will do something along the lines of 20 stitches, 18 to 20 stitches. 18 is very common. So if you have a 3-thread overlock, that 3-thread overlock machine was very popular. It's one of the first machines that was released, and it takes 3 threads. And so that you have an upper and a lower looper, and then you have the main holding stitch. So that's a 3-thread machine. You may have a 3/4 thread machine. You may have a 3/4/5 thread machine. And so those are all different types of overlockers. So what is an overlock stitch, and why would I want one, and why would you use one? Well, it's just another type of sewing machine. In general, you could, in theory, only have an overlocker, the same way you could only have a sewing machine. But if you were to mix the two of them into 2 machines, you can work side by side with the 2 machines and create professional looking garments, perfectly produced little project bags, that kind of thing. So they're like think of it like a husband-wife type situation, or a wife-wife situation, or a husband-husband situation. It's a perfect little couple of machines. So the overlocker, so I'm going to show you first a 3-thread overlock stitch. So that's a 3-thread overlock stitch. You can see we have a thread that's going back and forth on like a horizontal, and then if I get really close there, I'm going to put myself out of focus, but if I get really close there, you can see that there is a straight stitch running along the inside. So how is that stitch staying perfectly horizontal like that? Well, on the back there is a lower looper that's doing something very similar. So the lower looper is going back and forth on the other side, and then we have our straight stitch appearing on the underside as well. If I then go just to the seam, you will see, it's going to be hard to focus, but if I go just to the seam there it is, you'll be able to see that that top horizontal stitch and that bottom horizontal stitch are interlocking right at the edge of the fabric. So that's an overlock stitch. Your threads on the top and threads on the bottom are wrapping the edge so that they're not fraying. So that's a 3-thread. A 4-thread looks like this, and that's going to be a little bit harder to focus on. Let's back it up so it can focus. We have 2 straight stitches running side by side. We still have that horizontal on the top, and we still have the horizontal on the bottom, and this time they're like little loops poking through. So that's a 2-thread overlock. 4-thread overlock. Then the application of that might be on the neckline of a little t-shirt or a sweatshirt. You can overlock that edge So then you have a perfectly finished little edge. Similarly, on the hem, you could put a band on the bottom of a sweatshirt. And that's how you can make a garment completely with a serger, is when you have finished edges like that. There's nothing to hem, so you've got a rib. So that's what a serger does. So let's look at what a serger looks like. So this is a serger. This is our Husqvarna Viking 250S, because I know you're going to ask that question. And I'm going to flip myself up into the corner there. I think I can do that. Put myself up in the corner. No, that is the video. So this is the 250S. So the 250S is a 2-3-4 thread overlocker with this beautiful function that it opens, and so I can share more about the inside of the machine. So you're going to be seeing a fair amount of this machine, because I find this machine is one of the easier ones to teach. So it is a little bit overwhelming to see all these mechanics, but I want you to know that they're in there. And this combination is essentially in every sewing machine, every serger, overlocker, cover locker, this kind of loop and hooks and pulleys and things that move and knives that go up and down. This is in pretty much every machine. And the trick is knowing how it works, how to rotate things through, how to get your threads to go through, how to extract your threads, how to close off loopers. And all those things are things we're going to talk about in the next video. But the inside of most machines will look like this. There is a beautiful collection of machines that are a little bit higher end machines that are air threaded. And so you may have a series of holes right here where you poke a thread down into, pump a lever, threads shoot out places. And that's a beautiful gift if you have one of those sergers. It is an air threaded serger. And so that's the next level of these machines. But those air threaded machines still have all these pieces. It's just that you don't have to thread them yourself. And so an overlocker has threads on the back, a stand that brings the threads up to a nice consistent tension level that brings them down through some tension discs into some hooks and eyes and loops and levers, and then all come out at a single place where your thread is running through, so that as the fabric is running through, it is finishing everything off with a beautiful overlocked stitch. So that's it for the first video. I just wanted you to have a definition of what a serger overlocker is, and I'll come back to you in just a minute with another video talking about what's happening with all these crazy threads and loops and levers. So I look forward to seeing your comments on here. Please take a second, and if you have any questions, put them on there. We will get into the habit of answering them for years to come, because we're doing this all on YouTube instead of our normal Facebook Live. And hopefully we can get you all using your sergers. Have a great day, everybody. And I always end with have a great day, but I know you're going to have a great day, but I'm going to see you in about 3 seconds in the next video.